Anyhow, back to the matter at hand. Jesus spoke to me when I was at the old trading post and said, buy this soda. It's sparkling water flavored like black cherry and vanilla. And when I got it up to the counter, I said, is it okay if I buy just this one? And the guy's like, yeah, we'll let you buy just one. He did some clicking around, and I bought it, had it in the car. Had it down in the car without even
room temp.
Chilling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just room temp, and loved it. Now, it was thirst quencher. He said, I hear these taste a lot like Dr. Pepper. And that was my first thought as well. As soon as I tried it, I was like, that's got a Dr. Pepper flavor to it. So now yesterday, I bought the full 8-pack, chilled it, had it, enjoyed it.
How many?
2 yesterday.
Okay.
I've had another today, this morning, and I brought one in for Biggie. So I've gone through 4 of the 8, including Biggie's now.
Is this a caffeinated beverage?
No, I don't believe it is.
I don't believe it is. Yeah,
It's,
most sparkling water is not unless you get like an energy one.
Will that take you where you both need to be?
It's not ever been the caffeine for me.
it's the burn.
It's got to be the burn. It's got to be. It's not. Look, I have put so much caffeine in my body over the years that it does absolutely nothing for me.
No, I need a little jolt.
You still probably you don't. Yeah, see, I drink energy drink, coffee. I think it probably gives you a little jolt for my body.
I chased it with a Celsius.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole thing.
You've had 2 cans already.
Yeah, I've had 2 cans. I have a can of this on the way in, and then I have a Celsius 45 minutes prior to showtime because I want to be,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to be.
So this is you on.
Yes. Currently, I am on. This is the best I ever am. The very opening time here. The opening when we crack that microphone.
The say hello part.
The say hello is my best. If you get me in the power hour, it's like,
That's concerning.
What's happened to it? I mean,
It's like the stock market numbers.
Yeah.
Trending downward.
Yeah.
If you look at yesterday's stock market, as I always do, then that's my performance during this program.
Yeah.
It just trends down.
Stock market was surprised Americans are in debt yesterday, I guess.
Unbelievable. You cannot get. I mean, every time I look at it, it's like, well, one day up, one day down.
Yeah.
I've got to stop day trading. I've got to stop looking at this every single day.
Biggie, have you cracked open your can
No,
yet?
I saved it. It's
right.
still unopened.
Cold,
I have it right here.
yeah.
I was going to do a crack on air test here, if you'd like me to.
Please crack it open and let's taste. There it is. Oh, what a good.
Oh, okay,
sound.
that's a good snap. That's a good snap to start.
See
Wait a
what
minute.
you think of
We
it.
should have done this on camera.
Oh, you're right. We should have.
Okay.
See what you think of this product.
Ooh,
How's the nose?
good smell. Good smell. Very. I get more cherry than vanilla, but good. I don't get much of a Dr. Pepper.
Well,
let me see.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I do think the taste does have some Dr. Pepper aftertones.
Decent burn. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get a little Dr. Pepper on the end. It's not as strong as a soda taste,
No.
but I will say this. Of all the sparkling waters I've tried, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I've had way worse.
I agree. This is like a BB Shea hot dog review. God,
Yeah, I can't stand those either. Whew. I thought his were riveting.
I just had listen, another one of those popped up on me yesterday. His criticism was, y'all, this weenie's too thick.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
This weenie's too big.
Too big for the bun.
Too big for the bun. He's like, it's too much. There's too much hot dog in here.
Can't get my mouth around it.
Yeah, he was like, too much dog.
I believe it was one of those half pounders.
It was like they touted like it was a quarter pound weenie or whatever. And he's like, it's too much. I want a skinnier weenie.
I like that. That's pretty good. I don't know if it'll cut into the soda, but as a sparkling water goes, because I do like those too. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's very strong. And they have several flavors. I tried a lime yesterday. Again, a box had burst. And I said, all right.
You don't think that somebody with a box cutter sees you coming across the parking lot?
This is how we get them.
Watch this.
Maybe.
He's not going to buy one can.
I
Oh,
did.
yes, he will.
I bought the one can, so I had the lime in the car yesterday. Good, but I like this one better.
I think.
Hey, it's hot soda guy. There's no way he's buying another can of hot soda. He'll drink it in his car before he leaves the parking lot.
I did. So yesterday I had 3 cans, including the lime. 2 Dr. Pepper flavors and 1 lime flavor.
I'm convinced at that store, because they are so friendly, they're just not allowed to say no to anything.
I agree.
Which is why that poor guy, had to probably figure out some way to ring you up the other day for 1 soda.
Yeah.
That's not in the system.
Listen, recently I bought my wife for Mother's Day a flower there. Now, it was my mistake. She does not like, what is that flower? It's very common, an orchid. She doesn't like an orchid. And all they had in there, it had been so picked over. Now, I was buying on Saturday night before Mother's Day. This was about 7:30 in the evening before Mother's Day. And I walked into that store, the old Trading Post, and there, all that was left was like baby's breath for $3.99. I mean, there was nothing.
That's not even
Nothing
worth giving.
There were no tulips. There were no roses. I mean, you could just see. It was like all these men were in there buying flowers, of course, the day before Mother's Day. And first chance I had to buy them was at 7:30 at night, 30 minutes before closing time. And all they had an orchid. And I looked at it and I thought, now, my wife hates orchids. She hates them.
It's usually the opposite. Most women love orchids.
Yeah, I know. I believe that's what, is it an orchid that she...
They're kind of the tall,
singular
plants.
That's it. That's what it was. So I looked at it and I knew, I was 95% sure my wife hates these. But I wanted to make the effort. You know, I wanted to make the effort.
This says so much about you, you don't even realize it.
So I got her this loose can of soda.
And an orchid. That's the two things I bought. A loose can of soda and an orchid. And it was, you know, I got it to the counter, and I thought, I could be making a mistake here, but I wanted to show effort. So I walked in with the orchid, and her face said it all. You know I hate those. She said, I absolutely loathe this flower. And I said,
it's not for you. It's for Chris Demm.
I said, Happy Mother's. She goes, A, I hate them, and B, they're hard to take care of, and I'm going to have to be the one taking care of that. And I said, yes, but it's the thought that counts, you know. And she goes, well, you should have shopped earlier. And I said, but I wanted to give it to you on Mother's Day or right before Mother's Day. We're now just a few hours from Mother's Day. And I handed it to her, and she goes, this is the most god-awful thing I've ever seen. I don't want this flower. And I said, well, I'll take care of it. And she goes, let's just be honest. You're not going to take care of it. I'm going to kill it. I don't like the look of it anyway. She feels like it looks like an Asian plant, and she doesn't care for Asian plants. Okay? She doesn't like an Asian motif for the home.
Should we be saying this?
I don't. Well, my racist alarm didn't go off.
No, I mean, she doesn't like that kind of. Like if you walk into a Japanese or Chinese restaurant, you know the look that they have in there?
Well, sure. Yeah.
She doesn't like that look, and she doesn't like it in home decor either. That's just her. She doesn't care for it.
She's going to hate the kimono you got her.
I didn't even bother getting it out of the car. Like, why even get it out of the car?
I guess I'll get a refund for this Asian deep tissue massage.
So the next day, it was still sitting there, and she goes, get this god-awful thing out of my sight. It's terrible. And I said, but it's the Mother's Day. It's what I'm giving to you. And then she goes, go take it back to the store, and somebody else will like it. Don't deprive them of their joy. And I said, no, I'm going to take it to the station, and Chris Demm and I will take care of it.
We'll raise it as our own.
I said... Exactly. An orchid. I said, we're raising this on our own, the two of us. And she goes, do whatever you want with it, but I would recommend taking it back to the store for somebody who really wants it and get your money back. And I said, well, I'll think about it. So I put it in the car. Now, in the car, I mean, it stayed there 2 or 3 days. You know how my car is.
Yeah.
It's awful. And I never watered it, and it was starting to look a little bit slumped after a couple of days. You know, I hadn't watered it, sat in the car. It's hot.
Stank,
and all that sweat clothing around and everything. You know how my minivan is. Well, the next time I went to the old Trading Post, I thought, let's see if they'll take this thing back. Because I didn't, after a while, I was like, Chris Demm and I, we can't raise this on our own because, you know.
We were wrong.
It rejected us.
It did. Here's the whole point. I walked in there, and they're so nice. I said, can I give this back and get my money back? My wife hated it for Mother's Day. And they were like, sure, no problem. I think what you're saying is right. Yeah. They see you coming.
And reason for return? She hated it.
Did you not know this? Oh, I did.
I knew it when I
purchased it. I knew it. And they said, do you have the receipt? And I said, no. And they said, did you have the price tag? And I said, no. I scraped it off. And they said, all right, we'll take it back. And they did. They took it back. And I got her some different flowers with the money that I had saved. That's the whole point, was they took it back. So I was impressed with that. And that's what Biggie is saying.
Yeah.
And he likes the soda.
How far on the Karen scale were you prepared to go on that
I'd say 7
return of a dying plant.
7 out of 10. I would.
You were going to let loose?
I probably would have let.
But you like those people.
Well, I do. You're right. I figured they were going to take it though, because the only other item I ever returned was a bottle of olive oil that I didn't have the upper body strength to open. Remember, I tried to open the olive oil and I couldn't get it open. And when I took it back, they said, just grab another one off the shelf and walk out. I said, okay. So I just walked over there and got it. And they said, don't even stop. Just go and take it out. That was pretty nice.